these are my goals for the new year. I love doing the 8 different dimensions of wellness. So that's physical wellness, occupational wellness, environmental wellness, intellectual wellness, social wellness. 6 is financial wellness. 7 is emotional wellness, and 8 is spiritual wellness. So let me go through these and share with you what my goals for the year are. By the way, I hit my New Year's resolutions consistently. So this is not a matter of like wishful thinking or anything like that. These are some of the plans that I have in place for it. So number 1, for physical wellness, I am going to track the number of reps that I do. Last year, I tracked them. In 2024, I tracked them. I did 78,570. How do I track my reps? I just basically do a calendar about like this and just do a tally mark for every 10 reps that I do, or if I do a big workout, then I just write the total number. So whenever I go to work out at Anytime Fitness, I will just have my phone, and every time I finish a set, then I will go and write down how many reps that I did. So most of the time, whenever I'm there, I do anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 reps in any one session. So the second thing on physical wellness is I'm going to plan my workouts on Mondays and Wednesdays. So last year, I did 1 day a week only. I don't know if I ever did past that, honestly. Maybe there's a time or two that I did a second one, but my plan is to do Mondays and Wednesdays now. So adding that in about mid-January is what my schedule looks like. So starting to add in the Monday workouts and Wednesday workouts. The third thing on physical wellness is I'm going to track 3 healthy choices a day. This can be anything that is just a positive choice. I had a moment to decide, and I chose to do the healthy thing. So this morning, as I went for my breakfast, I reached to grab a Belvita, and I had to go past the Christmas tree cakes. Woo! Right? Little Debbie was calling my name. And as I went past that, I said, this is an opportunity to make a healthy choice. I went past it, grabbed the Belvita crackers, and just had that. I didn't grab that Christmas tree cake. So in that moment, I made a healthy choice. I make healthy choices whenever I choose not to drink alcohol that night. I make a healthy choice whenever I choose to have like a green energy, or green, Bloom's green energy. Yeah, anyway, greens. That's what it's called. Greens. Simple enough. I make a healthy choice whenever I go, hey, I'm at Whataburger, and I can't make the best of choices here, but I can at least get a grilled chicken sandwich instead of a patty melt that will make me miserable for the next 3 hours. Okay, so I'm tracking 3 healthy choices daily. So that's my physical wellness side of things. For occupational wellness, so this is our job, what we're doing. 1, I'm going to track the number of client hours. So I do that on this calendar back here. Last year I had 1,124. I'm also adding to that this year in not just counseling client hours, but number of people impacted. So my top value from Brene Brown's list of values is making an impact. So in that, whenever I do a speaking gig for 50 or 100 people, I'm going to get to add that number to it as well. So I'm really excited about adding that new goal, just to be able to see, hey, number of people impacted this year, blank. So one way that I've already nerded out in that is how many people have heard my semicolon story of suicidal thoughts. So at this point, over 6,200 people have heard my story. Okay, and number of people I've helped out through suicidal ideation, that number is 219. And so I keep up with these numbers because they're super encouraging. That whenever I don't feel like a good counselor, those kind of things, like 219 people out of suicidal ideation, like helping them out personally through that, like that's a big deal. You are making a big impact, Brody. So I love keeping a track of those numbers because the numbers do not lie. They tell me exactly what I've been doing, and not just how I feel about how I've been doing it. Also in occupational wellness, I want to track the number of speaking events that I had last year. I did 17. So I don't currently have a number to shoot for. I would like to see between 20 and 25 different schools. But past that, past doing schools, I would like to also get into a lot more organizational speaking and medical community, that kind of a thing. A new thing that I'll be trying to figure out how to track. So this is rough draft New Year's resolution style, is the number of touches that I have for public speaking. So if I have reached out to X company, did I reach out to them 4 or 5 different times? How many people did I call today about a possible speaking gig? So how many people did I email? How many people did I just basically check in with? Like, hey, how's your company doing? Like, how is your daycare center going? Are you surviving through the holidays? Did you get through all the sick seasons, right? So number of touches is going to be a new thing that I'm starting to track. For environmental wellness, so this is not like save the planet, recycle, that kind of a thing. It is like the environment around you. So I love showing off my office. Oh, almost dropped my phone there. But it's just so peaceful, right? My pillows are a little bit out of line. All right, you caught me there. But it's a peaceful place, as well as my desk is looking nice and organized because I spent 10 minutes doing my environmental wellness goal. And that goal was to spend 10 minutes doing a little bit of cleanup. And so I'm going to track that daily. Did I do 10 minutes of cleaning today, right? So that's another helpful way. Get my phone back up here. There we go. That's another helpful way that I'm going to do environmental wellness. The next one is intellectual wellness. This one is probably one of my favorite, honestly. So I'm going to track that I do at least 30 minutes of learning a day. The neat thing is it's really simple because it takes me about 15 minutes to get to work and back, right? So I can listen to a podcast during that time. Other times I do constantly like listen to audiobooks. I listen to podcasts, like those kind of things. I love absorbing information. In 2023, I read 60 books. This year, I'm starting to shift that a little bit. So podcasts have been really awesome for me. I don't have a book goal necessarily, but if I'm reading 30 minutes a day, obviously a chunk of that will be books. The next one on intellectual wellness is that I'm going to write at least one sentence in my own book daily. So the book that I have coming out, my plan is to call it Caregiver 2.0. I did just discover that somebody else wrote a book called Caregiver 2.0. Similar concepts. I haven't read that book though. But with that, I wanted to just have this like small goal. Instead of it being like, finish my book in 2025 as a New Year's resolution, I wanted to write at least a sentence every day. One way I've been able to do that lately is I deleted Facebook off my phone, and the times where I've like wanted to get on Facebook, I wanted to zone out for a little bit. You know what? I just click my book. It's on a Google Doc, and I just scroll a few times and like, hey, this is about where I left off. Awesome. Let me write a sentence. And it's simple. It's so easy. But it's tracking and it's creating that momentum, right? Just like the push-ups. It's 10 push-ups here, but it will end in 73,000, right? It's one sentence here, but it'll end in a completed book, right? So far, on the number of pages, I think I have 76 so far, 76 pages. So it's tracking, it's going well, and I'm loving that. On my next one, social wellness. So this is our interactions with others. Every Tuesday night, we plan to do what we call Two-rific Tuesdays with our daughters. So one night I might get my 7-year-old and we just hang out together while my wife is with our 4-year-old. And then the next time we'll switch it, right? That I'll be with our 4-year-old, she'll be with our 7-year-old. But we call them Two-rific Tuesdays because it's just one-on-one time. My 4-year-old loves to eat ice cream. and play babies. So yeah, you'll find me on the floor in her room playing whatever baby theme we have going on that night. My 7-year-old likes to play Mario Party, right? And that has just been so much fun. So usually we'll play video games or just have some fun outing. Mama likes to take them to go get their nails done, so that's another cute thing. So I want to plan one guy's time a month. In my home, it is me and 3 girls. And well, I guess I do have a male dog. That's Murphy. Flurfy Murphy is what my 4-year-old calls him until he has to get shaved, and then he's not so Flurfy Murphy. But having one time just with guys, whether it's just a one-on-one or just a guys' night out, it's just been so helpful for my mental health. So helpful for just talking about guy stuff. My wife and I, for another social wellness, we're towards the end of each month, we're going to plan our date nights for the next month. So right now, today's the 30th. We have between today and tomorrow to plan our couple of different date nights for the month of January. So we're going to plan on doing that as a part of our social wellness with our marriage, right? Like really wanting to start to shift that around. And shift it around meaning like we're going to reclaim that time. We're going to go ahead and set it out beforehand so that we're not last minute going like, we need a date night. Like, do we have any grandparents available tonight? Right? So just making sure that we get those times put into our calendar. And hosting one event a month. So we got a new house, and it's a hosting home. It is just so welcoming, so good to have people over. We've got a big dining table that seats up to 10, and then a kids table on top of that, right? So we want to host one time a month for, again, that social wellness. It's just so good to have friends over. We'll actually have some family friends of ours staying the night on New Year's Eve, and we're really looking forward to that. Staying up late, playing board games, watching the kids. We're going to do our own little balloon drop inside of our house. We're going to do a ball drop, but it will be with balloons. So really excited about doing all of that. So that's for our social wellness. The next one is financial wellness. So in this, I'm not sharing numbers with you guys. I hope you're okay with that. But also, I really don't have a set number. But one of the big things with financial wellness is not necessarily like how much money you obtain, but how well you handle it. Okay, so one is I want to create a budget every month. Every once in a while, I would not do that, and it would just hurt me. And if I got behind the ball once, then it was so much harder to pick it up again the next time. So creating a budget one time a month, reviewing that budget weekly. Hey, am I meeting where I told my money to go? So a budget, as Dave Ramsey says, right? A budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. So that's a part of my monthly, or for my financial goals. And then the third thing is to create a monthly financial goal. So sometimes it might be, hey, I want to try to save $1,000 this month. Another time it might be, I would like to pay off blank credit card, right? So these kind of financial goals, I would like to go ahead and put down a deposit for our anniversary trip. So whatever these kind of different goals are each month, I want to create it, and I want to get creative with my wife on what our financial goals can be. The seventh one is emotional wellness. As a counselor, I see a counselor once a month. So that's a part of my emotional wellness. It's just really good to have that other person to just vent to, and just be unbiased. I've just loved that. And then the second thing on here is to continue reading Atlas of the Heart with my daughter, with my 7-year-old. So Atlas of the Heart is a Brene Brown book, and it discusses the 87 different emotions and experiences that we have. And so whenever we do it, I am absorbing some of what I'm absorbing what the book is saying, but I'm having to put it into 7-year-old words, right? So last night it was the word reverence. All right, so try explaining that to a 7-year-old, right? So there's some hardness to breaking it down, and I'm like, meaningful connection, and so trying to pull apart some of that book. So with it, going through that with her has just been awesome. She's actually writing down 5 points under each emotion to help her remember what these different emotions and experiences are. So that has just been really good for me and my emotional wellness too. And then the 8th one, spiritual wellness. So yes, spiritual wellness is part faith and culture of living out your faith. And a part of it too is, to me, it's presence in the moment. If we're just so busy that you can go to church and still not get anything out of it because we're not spiritually there. So having time for my soul to kind of catch up to my body is a big part of what I want to do. I do have my Bible right here. My plan is to read on it. I'm going to see what I can do to get into the habit of reading on it 3 days a week that I'm up in my office whenever I'm not in schools, serving the schools. So I have that, reading the Bible. I have listening to music daily. Music kind of pulls me into the moment. I love it. I will dance and shake my booty to Taylor Swift, even if I'm unloading the dishwasher, whatever it might be. But with that, I'm just in the moment. Music thrills me. It's just a good thing for my heart and for my spirit. And then, the last thing on here is just 5 minutes of making sure that I lived in the moment. So whether that is, if I'm just sitting outside and I'm just taking it in, or if it's I'm holding my dog, right, and petting Flurfy Murphy, or if it's just having my phone away and being with my wife and my kids, right? So whatever that, I just soaked up this moment. A lot of spiritual wellness to me is super correlated with serotonin. Serotonin is this presence in the moment happiness chemical. Whenever it's not there, which is why most of us are on SSRIs. A lot of people take anti-anxiety medicine because their serotonin is not in the right place. Okay, it's in there, but there's a dam that has not been lowered for it to flow freely. And to be able to fully enjoy the moment. We're just, our minds are so busy, so anxious, concocting, whether it's true things that we need to do on our to-do list or made up scenarios, but we're always in this kind of threat detector mode. So turning off that threat detector mode, being fully present in the moment, is another big part of what I'm doing for my spiritual wellness. So that's my New Year's resolutions for my 8 different dimensions of wellness. Let me hear yours. I'd love to see what you have. Of course, I've put a lot of time into coming up with these goals, so I don't expect you to just fire from the hip and just know exactly what your goals are. But if you were already thinking along these kind of lines, let me know. Love to see what I could do to help support you in your New Year's goals, because to me, once I start these goals and get them up and going, kind of like the number of reps, there's this element of this changes the trajectory for my year and the following years. So I want New Year's resolutions to mean that much to you too, my friend. I don't want them to be just a lofty goal that we don't ever hit and we feel guilty about all the time, but a goal that you want to honor and make it into small, bite-sized, systemic pieces that at the end of the day, you can't help but hit your goal. Because if you make 3 healthy choices a day for an entire year, of course you're going to be healthier. Of course you are, right? So, wish you well, my friends. Good to talk with you.